yet again, a post without the game is leaving officially. I've indicated that endgame's no longer visible in the game's system. How about fix bonus?
I've made a huge mistake. What's up, Marvel Snappers? I really need to work on my intro. I made a video last week. Marvel Snap's biggest flaw, the way that I see it anyway. And the video did pretty well on YouTube. It's one of my best performing so far, but I wasn't super satisfied with the conversation that spawned from the comments. And hey, if you are watching, this is a new channel. I'd really appreciate a comment just to say hi. It would be great to know that you guys are real. It's really lonely in here. So I thought, hey, I've had really positive interactions with the Marvel Snap subreddit before. I'm going to post this as an opinion piece there. And rather than just linking the video, because nobody likes someone that's just sitting there self-promoting all day, I did include a link to the video for if anyone was interested, but the point of the post was the text paragraph that I wrote, which basically explained my argument. The argument being, for those of you that missed it, that I really believe Marvel Snap needs in-game leaderboards as soon as possible. It's listed on the roadmap as in concept. I personally think it needs to come sooner. You can find more of my argument in the previous video. I'm not going to go through it all again right now. But yeah, generally, I think that Marvel Snap is such an amazing game and in such a good place to really grip millions of players when it launches next week. I just think a leaderboard would help to make sure that the most competitive players find something to sink their teeth into. But wow, oh boy, the response I got from Reddit. Yeah, people don't agree. And you know, that could well be a me problem. A couple of the more eloquent people on Reddit did explain that they think that it would be nice to have a leaderboard, but it's not as important as I'm making it out to be. I was criticized for believing that it would be a large majority of players that are affected by this leaderboard, as it would seem that actually only 2 or 1% of players even get to Infinity rank anyway. But I don't think that that's really the point. My counter argument to that is that it's the people that are at Infinity rank and streaming and no-lifing the game that are really going to build communities and draw a bigger audience, even if that's just a case of an audience that want to watch. Then the counter argument to that is that I'm overestimating how much influencers matter to a game. This I downright disagree with. Marvel Snap obviously isn't going to have much of a presence on YouTube or Twitch. The game isn't out yet, but when the game does come out, an explosion of people making videos about the game, streaming the game, the ability for casual fans to be able to look up and watch content easily without having to search for it, that could be very important for the game catching in the first place. Of course, there are multiple stages to whether a game is successful or not, but the first stage is important. The game has to catch on to begin with. Then the game has to look at keeping the players that caught on. Look at Halo Infinite. The game came out and exploded. This new free-to-play FPS. Day 1, day 2, it was pulling hundreds of thousands of players, and it quickly lost its player base because updates were so few and far between. I don't think Marvel Snap's going to have that problem. The fact that they've even made a roadmap already is huge. Clearly the team are dedicated, and so far they've done a fantastic job. I guess I'm dying on this hill. I just really believe that having some sort of competitive leaderboard or endgame, something for players to grind towards once they've hit the max rank, would only be a benefit to the game. I don't think anyone really disagrees with that. It's hard to land on the opposite side of this argument, because at the end of the day, you either want leaderboards or you don't care about the leaderboards. There shouldn't really be anyone that actively doesn't want an end game when it comes to the ranked ladder. But I suppose the counter argument is that the resources currently are best placed somewhere else. My argument is that I don't think leaderboards should be that difficult to set up in the first place. Then again, I'm not a game developer. Please don't kill me. Though I suppose the silver lining is that if it's going to take them a long time to implement, I guess it means that they are taking that time to make sure that they do implement it well when they do add the leaderboards to the game. And they can only be praised for that. What I found particularly funny is that I just got downvoted to oblivion on Reddit. And anyone that actually agreed with me in any way, shape or form also got downvoted to oblivion on Reddit. Not to be that guy, but I did actually look up what the downvote button's for, and it's for if a comment doesn't contribute to the discussion at hand. Maybe I went a little bit too far in explaining my points. Those were some long paragraphs. But I certainly wasn't insulting anyone, and certainly wasn't insulting this game that I love. And the downvotes felt like a little bit much. But there you go, lesson learned. Though actually I have learned a few things from this. I have learned that I do need to take a step back and look at it from a wider lens. Though I actually don't think the game needs much other stuff fixed right now. Other people were replying that they need to fix matchmaking things first and they need to fix bugs first. Honestly, I have a pretty bug-free experience when I play, which is perhaps why I thought that the leaderboards needed to have more of a priority. Maybe I'm just blind to the other issues, but also trying to have an intelligent discussion on Reddit. There were some people that were really helpful, and there were a couple back and forths that I really did enjoy, and there were bits of a discussion that I really was hoping to have, but being asked what my credentials are to critique a mobile game, that was an interesting one. Ultimately, there are a lot of people that love Marvel Snap already, and there are a lot of people that as soon as someone does give out some sort of criticism, there are a lot of people shutting that person down, not wanting to hear it, which, while that's bad for a discussion sense, I think it's great for a Marvel Snap sense, for the game sense. The fact that it's already got that loyal of a following, people defending it from anything, even though I very clearly love the game. I mean, I was criticized for being overly negative in my YouTube thumbnails. Hey, I freaking love the game. I wouldn't have made this channel if I didn't. Putting all of my eggs into the basket of a game that isn't out yet on the hope that it's successful, because I genuinely have the faith that it will be. Believe me, no one wants this game to succeed more than I do. But seeing that people are so in love with it already is fantastic. I'm probably not going to post to the Marvel Snap subreddit that often anymore. Maybe I'll look every now and then and see if I can answer some questions, as I have done a few times in the past. I got gifted my first ever gold on the subreddit a month or so ago, and that was awesome. It's great to be able to help people that have questions, and I will be looking to help people that have questions, especially when Marvel Snap launches. But I've certainly learned my lesson for today. I suppose I can be patient for these in-game leaderboards, but I am excited to see what comes next. Hey, if you made it to the end of the video, I don't think I've ever said this before, but consider subscribing. I'm going to be covering Marvel Snap for a long time, for a very long time, if the game is as successful as I hope it will be. So if you've enjoyed anything that I've had to say, a like and a comment would be infinitively good. I'll work on that.